$3,000. That's the number that broke Tyler. Not the rejection letters. Not the dead-end job. Not the quiet shame of watching his old classmates move forward while he stayed exactly where he was. What broke him was watching his mother leave the house at 5 in the morning to catch the first of 2 buses to work because they couldn't scrape together enough money to fix her car. $3,000. And he couldn't do a thing about it. This is the story of a 17-year-old kid who thought he'd found a shortcut, and the 7 years it took him to understand what that shortcut had actually cost him. Tyler was a junior in high school, smart, restless, and convinced that the classroom had nothing to offer him. He'd stare at algebra equations on the board and think, when will I ever use this? He'd slog through Shakespeare and wonder, how does any of this help me pay bills? School felt like a cage, and every day inside it felt like a day wasted. His older cousin Jake had dropped out 2 years before. Jake had a car, cash in his pocket, and a kind of freedom that Tyler envied. "You're wasting your time," Jake told him. "Come work with me. Landscaping. $15 an hour, cash. You'll make more than your teachers." $15 an hour sounded like a fortune. Then came the night that made the decision for him. Tyler's mother came home from a double nursing shift and sat down at the kitchen table with a pile of bills. She didn't know Tyler was awake. He heard her crying softly, doing her best to hide it. Something in him collapsed. "I can fix this right now," he thought. "I can quit school, start working and help her." He walked into the kitchen. "Mom, I want to drop out." She looked up, eyes red. "Baby, please. Education is the one thing I can give you that poverty can't take away." "We need money now," Tyler said. "Not in 2 years when I graduate. Now." She wiped her eyes. "Tyler, if you do this, you'll regret it. I promise you." He shook his head. "I won't." He was absolutely certain. The next morning, Tyler didn't go to school. He went to work. For the first few months, it felt like the right call. Money in his pocket. Bills helped. He felt like a man, like he'd skipped past the part where you sit in a desk and wait for life to begin. But time has a way of clarifying things. 1 year passed. His back started hurting. His hands got rough. He came home too exhausted to do much besides sleep. 2 years in, his old classmates graduated. Some went to college, some to trade school, some walked straight into jobs with benefits and a future. Tyler mowed lawns and hauled rock and dug holes. Then the company hired a new manager. His name was Chris. 23 years old, fresh out of college, business degree in hand. Chris became Tyler's boss. A kid 6 years older than him, already on salary, already with health insurance, already with somewhere to go. Tyler was still hourly. Still no benefits. Still no ladder to climb. Around that same time, he ran into an old classmate at a gas station. Sarah was wearing scrubs, just off a shift as a medical assistant. She smiled when she saw him. "Tyler, are you in college?" He looked down at the grass stains on his jeans. "No. Landscaping." Her smile held, but something shifted behind it, just for a second. "That's good, honest work." Tyler heard everything she didn't say. 3 years after dropping out, his mother's car died. Transmission gone. $3,000 to fix it. Neither of them had it. So she started taking the bus. 2 buses each way, 2 extra hours added to an already brutal day. Tyler would watch her leave at 5 in the morning and come home at 9 at night, worn down to nothing. And then he looked at Jake, the cousin who had set all of this in motion. Jake was 30 now. Still doing landscaping. Still making $15 an hour. Same job, same pay, same ceiling as the day he started. No movement. No change. No future. Tyler looked at Jake and saw himself in 10 years. "I didn't escape anything," he realized. "I just traded one kind of trapped for another." He decided to apply for an assistant manager position at a retail store. He made it to the interview. The hiring manager, younger than Tyler, looked at his application. "I see you don't have a high school diploma or GED." Tyler leaned forward. "No, but I've been working for 3 years. I show up every day. I'm reliable. I work hard." She smiled, and it was a sad smile. "I believe you. But company policy requires at least a diploma." I can't even submit your application without it." Tyler sat in his car in that parking lot and cried. Not because of the rejection, he'd been rejected before. He cried because he finally understood what his mother had tried to tell him 3 years ago. Education wasn't about being smart. It was about doors. And he had quietly, confidently locked every one of them behind him. Eventually, Tyler walked into a community center offering free GED prep classes. He figured he had nothing left to lose. He walked into the classroom and stopped cold. Standing at the front of the room was Mrs. Patterson, his 10th grade history teacher. The teacher he'd walked out on 3 years before. She looked up and recognized him instantly. Neither of them spoke for a moment. Then she smiled. "Tyler, I wondered if I'd see you again." After class that day, when everyone else had gone, Tyler stayed. He sat across from her and said, "Mrs. Patterson, I'm sorry. For quitting. For wasting your time." She held up a hand. "You didn't waste my time. You just weren't ready to see the value yet." She took out a piece of paper and drew 2 stick figures at the base of a cliff. One carried a ladder. The other didn't. "Both of these people want to reach the top," she said. "Both are willing to work hard. Both are determined." She pointed to the figure without the ladder. "This one tries to climb with bare hands. Strong, motivated, but the cliff is too steep." Then to the other, "This one climbs the same cliff, same determination, but they have a ladder. Step by step. Rung by rung." She looked at him. "Education is the ladder. You can't see it when you're young. It seems heavy, unnecessary. So you leave it behind. But then you reach the cliff and realize there is no shortcut. You either have the ladder or you don't." Tyler was quiet for a moment. "Is it too late? I'm 20. I feel so far behind." Mrs. Patterson smiled. "I didn't get my teaching degree until I was 32. I worked retail for 10 years first. Thought I didn't need it. And for those 10 years, I stood at the bottom of cliffs I couldn't climb." She leaned forward. "It's never too late to pick up the ladder. It's only too late when you stop breathing. Will you help me? I already am. That's why I teach this class." What followed wasn't magic. It was work. During the day, Tyler still did landscaping. He needed the money. At night he studied. Math he should have learned at 15. History he'd ignored. Science he'd slept through. Some nights he wanted to quit. He felt stupid, hopelessly behind, like he was rebuilding a house he'd burned down himself. But every time he thought about stopping, he thought about the cliff. And all the people climbing past him because they had ladders. 6 months later, Tyler passed his GED. It was just a piece of paper. But it felt like picking up the first rung. He enrolled in community college, part-time, night classes, business courses. He wasn't chasing a dream of becoming a doctor or a lawyer. He just wanted options. He wanted doors that would actually open. 2 years later, he applied for an assistant manager position at the same company that had turned him away. Different location. The hiring manager looked at his application. "I see you have your GED and you're working toward an associate degree." "Yes, ma'am." She smiled. "When can you start?" Tyler sat in his car after that interview and cried again. But this time from relief. That was 10 years ago. Today, Tyler is a regional manager overseeing 15 locations. He earns more in a month than he used to earn in a year. But the number he thinks about most isn't his salary. It's $3,000. Last month, Tyler bought his mother a new car. When he handed her the keys, she started crying. "Baby, you did it." Tyler shook his head. "We did it, Mom." He keeps a photo on his desk from that first GED class. Him and Mrs. Patterson. He looks exhausted in it, unsure, a little scared. He keeps it there on purpose, so he never forgets where he came from and what he almost gave up. The world is full of cliffs. Better jobs, better opportunities, a better life. You can try to climb them with your bare hands. You can work hard and give everything you have and mean every bit of it. But some cliffs require a ladder. Education is that ladder. You don't need it to survive, but you need it to climb. You're not studying to compete with anyone. You're not proving you're smart. You're building a ladder, rung by rung, class by class, year by year, So that when you reach the cliff you most want to climb, you're not standing at the bottom watching others rise while you stay where you are. Tyler wasted 3 years. 3 years he can never get back. Don't make his mistake. Pick up the ladder while it's still light. Because the higher you want to climb, the more you're going to need it.